Let's be honest. As geologists, we spend more time staring at rows of data than we do staring at beautiful outcrops. We like to think of ourselves as rugged explorers, but the truth is, our most used tool isn't a rock-hammered Microsoft Excel. But here's the problem. Most of you are using it like a glorified digital notepad. You're manually typing, hunting for errors with your squinted eyes, and probably crying a little bit when the lab sends you 500 new rows of geochemical data that don't fit your chart. Stop. You're doing it all wrong. Today, we're going to turn your spreadsheet from a mess of numbers into a lean, mean geological interpreting machine. We're going to cover everything from table magic to automated macros that clean your data while you go grab a fresh cup of coffee. By the end of this video, you won't just be using Excel. You'll be dominating it. First things first, if your data is just a loose block of cells, you're living in the Stone Age, and not the cool geological Stone Age, the frustrating one. The very first thing you should do with any dataset is click anywhere inside it and hit Crel TY, because converting your data into a table changes everything. Suddenly your headers stay at the top when you scroll down, even without freezing panes. But more importantly, tables are dynamic. If you create a scatter plot of gold versus silver, and then paste new lab results at the bottom of your table, the chart updates automatically, and we're dragging data ranges like a peasant. Also, tables give you calculated columns. If you write a formula in the first cell to multiply your gold value by its price Excel docen, just calculate that one cell, it blasts that formula all the way down to the bottom of the table instantly. It's fast, it's clean, and it makes you look like a wizard. And speaking of scrolling, let's talk about freezing panes. We've all been there. You're on column AQ looking at arsenic values, but you've scrolled so far right you have no idea which sample ID you're re-looking at. Click the cell below your headers, and to the right of your sample ID column, go to the View tab and hit Freeze Panes. Now you can fly through your data without losing your place in space-time. Geological data is messy. Sometimes the lab sends you numbers formatted as text, or they accidentally multiply gold by arsenic instead of silver. Excel is actually pretty smart. It often flags these errors with little green triangles in the corner of the cell. Hey geologists, let's level up your Excel game. Stop wasting hours cleaning up data and start spending more time on actual geology. Today, I'm showing you the pro moves that turn spreadsheets from a chore into a powerful tool. First up, let's hunt down those pesky formula errors. Imagine you've got a column of calculated grades, but a few cells are just plain wrong. If you have 10,000 rows, you can't go hunting for those one by one. Here's the pro trick. Select your column, press F5, click Special, and select Column Differences. Excel will instantly highlight every cell that doesn't follow the formula pattern of the rest. You can fill them with a bright red color so they scream for your attention. What about duplicates? We've all accidentally imported the same borehole log twice. Just go to the Data tab and hit Remove Duplicates. I recommend selecting all columns to be absolutely sure you are and deleting two different samples that just happen to have the same gold grade. And let's talk about blanks. Blank cells are the black holes of geological statistics. They ruin your averages. Instead of deleting them one by one, use that F5 greater than special trick again. Select blanks, and then use the Delete Sheet Rows option. Boom. Your dataset is now tighter than a well-cemented conglomerate. Now, let's protect you from yourself. We've all had those long days in the field where our brains turn to mud. You try to type a 6-digit GPS coordinate, and you accidentally type 7. Or you type limestone instead of limestone. This is where data validation comes in. You can set a rule on your coordinate columns that says, hey, only allow numbers between this and that. If you try to enter a coordinate that would put your sample in the middle of the ocean, Excel will pop up an error message that basically says, nice try, go get some sleep. You can even create drop-down menus for lithology using Alt and the down arrow. This ensures that basalt is always spelled basalt, which is crucial for filtering your data later. Finally, the big one, macros. If you find yourself doing the same 5 things every time you get a lab report, deleting the top 4 rows of legal jargon, joining the element name with the units, and removing the less than symbols, you are wasting your life. You need to record a macro. Go to the Developer tab, hit Record, and give it a name like lab_cleanup. Now, do your cleanup routine once. Delete the junk. Use the text join function to combine gold and ppm, and use find and replace to get rid of those annoying symbols. The next time you get a report, just run the macro. One click, and it's all done. That's it for today's quick tips. If you found this useful, hit that like button, subscribe for more geology tech hacks, and let me know in the comments what Excel problems you're facing. Thanks for watching. Once you're done, stop the recording. Next month, when the lab sends you another 20 files, you just hit your shortcut key, and Excel does 10 minutes of work in half a second. It's like having a junior geologist inside your computer, but one that doesn't complain about the coffee. Wait, what about those symbols? Pro tip: if a value is below detection limit, don't just delete it. Usually, geologists replace it with half the detection limit. It's like 0.002 instead of 0.005, or just remove the symbol to make it a number. If you have a bunch of numbers trapped as text, here's the secret handshake. Type the number 1 in a random cell. Copy it. Select your text numbers. Go to Paste Special and select Multiply. It forces Excel to realize they are numbers. Works every time. Phase 5. Advanced interpretation, the fun stuff. Now that our data is clean, let's actually do geology. Pivot tables are the ultimate tool for interactive exploration. Want to know the average gold grade for every different rock type in your project? Don't use a calculator? Throw your data into a pivot table, drag rock type 2, rows in gold to values. You can then add a slicer, which is basically a fancy clickable button to filter by alteration or drill hole ID. It lets you play with your data in real time. Add! And for my economic geologists out there, have you used GoalSeek? Let's say you're calculating the potential profit of a target. The volume, the density, and the costs, but you don't know the grade yet. You can tell Excel, I want a profit of $2 million. Change the grade cell until that happens. Excel will tell you exactly what grade you need to hit to make the project viable. It's like financial prospecting. Phase 6. The Specialist's Toolkit. Excel isn't just for basic math. It has been adapted for the most complex parts of our job. For hydrogeologists, there are tools like geological. You can take your grain size sieve analysis, plug it in, and the spreadsheet will run 15 different empirical equations like Hazen or Kazana-Carmont to estimate hydraulic conductivity. It even tells you which equations are applicable based on your soil type. For structural geologists, there's SGeoNet for plotting stereonets directly from your spreadsheets. And the legendary S2K macro. S2K takes your strike, dip, and coordinates from Excel and converts them into a KML file. You can then open that in Google Earth and see your structural symbols properly oriented in 3D space on top of the actual topography. Seeing your cleavage and bedding planes oriented correctly while you fly through a valley is a game changer. For regional interpretation, and in geochemistry, we have the geochemical functions add-in. This thing is a beast. It automates abundance, normalization, calculates mineral formulas from microprobe data, and handles unequal data where different labs have different error margins. Phase 7. The Master Technique Erosional Levels. I want to leave you with one secret sauce. CANA, that is unwidely used but is incredibly powerful. The erosional coefficient. In any ore deposit, some elements tend to stay above the Earth's superelements like mercury, barium, or antimony, and some stay below it. Infraelements like cobalt, nickel, or chrome. By creating a simple formula in Excel averaging your normalized superelements and dividing them by your normalized infraelements, you get an erosional level number. If that number is high, much bigger than 1, it means the top elements are still there. Your deposit is likely still underground, untouched by erosion. It's a prime target. But if that number is near 0 or negative, it means the top of the deposit is gone. You're looking at the roots of a system that has already been washed away. You might find a beautiful gold anomaly on your map, but the erosional coefficient will tell you it. It's just a ghost of a deposit that is now sitting at the bottom of a river 5 miles away. Conclusion. The computational sandbox. At the end of the day, Microsoft Excel is our computational sandbox. It's where we clean the noise out of our data so the geological signal can shine through. Whether you're normalizing trace elements to identify a subduction zone signature, or using Monte Carlo simulations via Excel risk to figure out the probability of hitting a certain resource Tonnage Excel is the bridge between the field and the final discovery. So stop manually typing, stop ignoring those green triangles, and start using these tools. Your data will be cleaner, your maps will be more accurate, and you might actually get home in time for dinner. If you are interested in these subjects, please subscribe, hit the like button. Leave a comment from where you're visiting, and share this channel with your friends. Till next time, keep exploring.
Welcome to my channel, where you'll find over 2,000 videos on geology, geochemistry, AI, and many other subjects. If you like what you see, help us grow by subscribing, liking, and sharing this channel.
I think these videos are brilliant, and I'm sure you will like them too. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell.